Rycroft was our son. He was born in 2022. Even before he was born, we knew that there was something, there was an issue. We weren't sure what it was. We were really fortunate that it was diagnosed very, very quickly as being a very rare genetic condition called Schwachman-Diamond syndrome, or SDS. Unfortunately for Rycroft, it affected him pretty badly, pretty quickly. He needed a bone marrow, a stem cell transplant. But unfortunately, after the procedure, he's still very vulnerable, and he unfortunately ended up with an infection that there wasn't anything that could be done, and he died aged 16 months in June 2023. When it was decided that Rycroft needed to have a transplant, then the question is, well, can anyone, who's going to donate? Because Catherine and I weren't matches, his sister wasn't a match, and so then you start to realise, actually, the clock's ticking here, and he was getting worse, not better. And so that news that a match has been found and that he's got a chance, I mean, it's just extraordinary, you know. It's yeah, hard to put into words just what it feels to hear that news that your child's got a chance.
What we realised very early on when your child is going to go through a bone marrow transplant or stem cell transplant is how little a lot of people know about the process and how little we knew about the process. I think that the more information we were given by the doctors at Great Ormond Street and by our paediatrician here in Colchester, the more we began to realise that this wasn't just he'd be going into hospital and then he'd be out straight away. A lot of people assumed that he'd have the transplant and be home within a couple of days. I think we were quite naive at first in realising how serious it was. The impact that it had for us was that Rycroft was given more time. He engrafted very quickly, so the stem cells that he was donated were incredible and very, very powerful. Immediately we could see that he was getting better. Within 3 or 4 days, he was very, very cheerful. He was much more energetic. That was giving us a real gift because it meant that we had a lot of hope for a huge amount of his life. There was so much uncertainty and so much fear for what his future held, and we had something really positive to hold on to.
Once you are receiving your donation, then the door to the world is opening back up again. That's what's been crucial to us, hope.
Anybody could develop bone marrow failure like Rycroft. Anybody could develop leukemia from any background, any walk of life. The more people who are on the registry in the UK, the less time someone who desperately needs a donation will have to wait. And that could be the difference between a successful bone marrow transplant and death. It's such an easy thing to do and could be so important. You could save someone's life, you could save a couple of people's lives. And I think it is the most amazing and unselfish thing to do. I wouldn't want anyone to think that because he didn't survive, that it was because the bone marrow transplant didn't work. It worked so well. He just was so unlucky because he was so small and he got an infection when his immunity was still building. It wasn't an unsuccessful transplant, it was a very successful transplant, and he just got really unlucky.
Rycroft's stem cell transplant allowed him to have more days, and every day with Rycroft was precious. We're desperately sad for Rycroft that he didn't have a longer life. We still feel fortunate and lucky that we had the 16 months with him that we did, and stem cell donation helps families have more time together. You know, we have some amazing outcomes where things go on and there's a full recovery. Even, you know, in a case like Rycroft's where there isn't, it's giving something that's absolutely priceless.